Hello there everyone, and welcome to your weekly MTA plan work video for the Queens Subways and Long Island Railroad for the weekend of Friday, September 21st, 2018, and going all the way until Monday, September 24th, 2018. We have a lot to get into. I'm going to quickly mention right now that strictly this week, I'm going to be doing this on Microsoft PowerPoint. Pretty much there is no need to go to the Long Island Railroad's website, as I was able to pull up the information from the MTA's website in regard to a big headache for customers at Forest Hills and Kew Gardens coming this weekend on the LIRR. Now, if anybody is asking, yes, good news. There is no more double track projects scheduled. I can confirm that right now as I'm recording this video. So there will be regular service between Ronkonkoma and Hicksville. And again, for once, they don't screw the film industry. And I quickly will mention that, but people in Astoria will be annoyed about it. But yes, the one weekend where the film industry is not screwed, as this weekend we have a major theatrical release with House and the Clock and the Wall, is a highly anticipated movie. I'm going off topic there, but the good news is the people will be able to get to the movie theaters this weekend on the Ronkonkoma branch. So that's very good news. The MTA finally didn't screw up people trying to get to a major theatrical release for once. But anyhow, yes, usual stuff, Queen Subways, and again, Long Island Railroad will be mentioned here, but also, I need to mention a detour in this presentation with regards to the Q13 and Q31 being detoured due to the Bell Boulevard Sunday Stroll. So I will mention that all in this slide. So without further ado, let's get started. Is there any work on the 7? We always have to answer this question first. Friday, September 21st, and going until Monday, September 24th, 11:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Flushing Main Street bound 7 service will run express from 74th Street Broadway in Jackson Heights to Willets Point due to signal modernization. For eastbound service between 74th Street Broadway and Willets Point, you can transfer to a westbound train at Willets Point or Flushing Main Street. Hectic M-Train service changes. Saturday, September 22nd, and going until Sunday the 23rd, 3:45 a.m. Saturday to 10 p.m. Sunday. Middle Village Metropolitan bound M trains will skip Hughes Street, Lumiere Street, and Flushing Avenue due to track replacement. I'm also going to mention this now, and I'll be in the next slide because I did reorganize M and J train service changes. This will also impact the J train. So once again, M and J trains will be skipping Hughes Street, Lumiere Street, and Flushing Avenue in Brooklyn due to the track replacement project, and I will remind everybody again in the next slide. Friday, September 21st, beginning at 8:15 p.m., M service will end early between Forest Hills, 71st Avenue, and Myrtle Avenue, Bushwick, due to track maintenance. Saturday and Sunday, September 22nd to the 23rd, 6:30 a.m. to 12 midnight. M service will run every 20 minutes due to track replacement. Same time frame, here's a different catch. M service will run to and from the Chambers Street J station due to track replacement. I also want to quickly bring up that trains will be stopping in Lower Manhattan at Bowery and Canal Streets. So we're going to talk about the J again. We have the station improvement project that came from last weekend, and it's the same time frame from the previous weekend of the 15th and the 16th. I'm assuming they're probably going to wrap up this month, doing it again next weekend, hopefully. And honestly, I'm going to say this now, we don't know when this J train nightmare will end. I really feel bad for people in Ozone Park who have to deal with this nonsense. And I understand your frustrations. You know, you shouldn't have to be dealing with this on weekends. You really shouldn't be if you want to get over to the area around Woodhaven Boulevard. It's just becoming an awful catastrophe dealing with this every weekend. So, once again, to reiterate, free shuttle buses and E-trains will replace J train service between Crescent Street and Jamaica Center due to station improvements. J service will run between Broad and Crescent Streets, so that's decent news for the people in Brooklyn, but not good news for people in Ozone Park. Free shuttle buses will make all J stops between Crescent Street and 121st Street and connect with the E at Jamaica Van Wyck. Transfer between trains and free shuttle buses at Jamaica Van Wyck E and or Crescent Street J. So once again, I'm going to reiterate the track replacement project. Crescent Street bound J trains will skip Q Street, Lumiere Street, and Flushing Avenue due to track replacement. So if you can get over to an eastbound train after Flushing Avenue, I would recommend doing that, and you can get to... Crescent Street's eastbound. Right, so you would have to go to a westbound train. Okay. So I'm sorry for reiterating that, but I will quickly mention it now from my map very quickly, so that way I don't get confused here. I'm pulling up the map right now so you all can get an idea of Crescent Street service in Brooklyn, of course, because thankfully, again, I know the J very well. I just need to be reiterated it from the map. And I'm pulling it up. And the map says, I'm looking at it very carefully so that way nobody can call me a liar here. I'm looking at it. So pretty much the situation is, if you are looking for service, you can go to Myrtle Avenue and transfer to a westbound train and go that way. So if you want service eastbound, you're going to have to transfer to a westbound train at Myrtle Avenue. I know it sounds crazy to be recommending this, but I talk about this on the 7 all the time. And again, I'm only bringing this up because remember, we're dealing with the headaches here in Queens too, in Ozone Park. So, again, we understand all your frustrations. It's not fair, again, that, how many more weekends are we going to have to deal with this agony at Woodhaven Boulevard? That's all what we're asking ourselves in Queens at this point. But, I have to speak up for the whole borough for our system. And, I'm going to keep continuing to do that in these presentations. So, if it does come up again next weekend, I will add it in the slide. You have my word that you can go to Myrtle Avenue in Bushwick and you can transfer to a westbound train. So I reorganized this so that way I can get clear and straight to the point with the R train. So once again, we have local service in Queens due to the signal modernization project. This will also impact the F train. Also, I quickly want to mention very important service changes that the F line will be rerouted in both directions via the Q Express between Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street, and Atlantic Avenue Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and via the D between Atlantic Avenue and Barclays Center and Stillwell Avenue due to track replacement. So pretty much, you can use A, C, and E stations on 8th Avenue or N, Q, and R stations at Broadway to complete your trip. So there is one alternative I could recommend for you all this weekend if you are looking for service along the 6th Avenue line that you can like, let's say you want to take the B, D, F, or M trains. If you can keep your Metro card with you and you're coming along from a Metro card, you can do it that way. I can guarantee you that right now. But if you want service, and I'm going to say this now, if you want service for the 6th Avenue line, I'm going to mention this now. You can transfer at 34th Street, Herald Square for the B or the... No, I don't think the D would... Yeah, you can transfer for the B or the D. If the D's not running, you can transfer to the B train at Herald Square. So if you want 6th Avenue service, you can do that way. Now, if you are looking for service, and I'm going to bring this up very quickly here. If you are looking for service to the 57th Street station at, let's say, 6th Avenue and 57th Street, all I'm going to recommend you do right now is just walk from the 57th Street 7th Avenue station, and you can go that way. You can do that. Or if you can take the R train and get off of 5th Avenue and 59th Street, you can do that as well. It will be a little bit of a shorter trip if you want to come from 5th Avenue. But as I said, you can always just transfer at Herald Square, and that is one option I can recommend for everybody if you are desperate and are seeking service this weekend along the 6th Avenue line. Also, you have transferring service at Times Square Port Authority. You have Canal Street or J Street Metro Tech, which, again, I'm going to say this now. Why didn't they mention transferring at Herald Square? This is the point I don't understand, because I know the system very well. And literally, again, Herald Square is a major station. And if you want service along the 6th Avenue line, it's very possible. It's just that you need to go over from Herald Square, and let's say you want to go to Rockefeller Center or Bryant Park, that service is available. You just have to transfer it Herald Square, which is a simple solution. But they don't mention that. So I'm very annoyed with MTA about not mentioning that. And I know it's not a little bit of an irate thing to go. It's not really for me to yell at the top of my lungs about. But literally, this is basic Detour 101. I pretty much gave it out here. Alright, I also want to mention that shuttle buses are going to be running along West 4th Street and East Broadway and J Street, Metro Tech, and York Street in Brooklyn. So Manhattan and Brooklyn will have shuttle bus service this week. Now the R train. R service will not be impacted, so if you want local service, you can take the R, E, or F trains this weekend. N train. Here we go again with the MTA screwing the film industry. September 21st to the 24th, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Guess what? And I know what we're going to point the finger at. That's right. The Broadway Station Improvement Project. 3 shuttle buses will be running along the en route between Ditmars Boulevard and Queensboro Plaza. N service will run between Queensboro Plaza and Coney Island Stillwell Avenue. You'll have the shuttle buses again. You can transfer between trains and buses to Queens Plaza. And I quickly want to mention something right now. I saw a picture on Twitter, and somebody from customer service got back to this guy on Twitter. I don't know what his username was, but I saw a picture, and my fellow colleague Jason Anthony Pinero gave me the picture, and I was like, again, I tell everybody this is all because of the Broadway Station Improvement Project. It has to be because of that project. So they're pretty much trying to rush the project along, so that way, and I'm going to say this again, I've been saying this for weeks, it has to do with the fact that they want the station open in February. Alright, they're rushing it along, so that way when February comes, people will finally have a brand new station. But my concern, and I'm going to say this again, I understand, and again, I've been to 36th Street Station. 36th Street Station is gorgeous. I thought they did a good job with it. My concern is, what if Broadway gets rushed? Alright, that's my concern. What if it's a half-assed done job? And I'm sorry for, getting a little bit mad about this, but As I said, I can't go to the Bel Air Diner if I don't know if the N and W station at Broadway is open. Because literally, I need that transfer to the 7 line to get into Flushing and take Q17. If I don't have that, then how am I supposed to get over there and have a longer walk? And again, the people who want to go to Kaufman Movie Theater for House and the Clock in the Wall, guess what? They're pretty much screwed. If they want to go to Times Square, maybe they'll go to Times Square on the shuttle buses. I don't know. I wouldn't do that, but still. It was a catastrophe last weekend with no N service. None at all. Especially how it's bad enough W trains don't even run on weekends anyway. Now on to the G train. 21st to the 24th, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Free shuttle buses will replace G trains between Court Square, 23rd Street, Nassau Avenue, and Brooklyn due to station improvements. G service will run between Church Avenue and Nassau Avenue. Shuttle buses will make all G stops between Nassau Avenue and Court Square. Transfer between trains and buses at Nassau Avenue. A train. Good news is no service changes to report in Queens. It's very good news. Q13 and Q31 detour due to the Bell Boulevard Sunday stroll. And I'm not used to saying that because I don't talk about bus detours normally, but this is very important. Due to the Bell Boulevard Sunday stroll on September 23rd, the Q13 and Q31 are being detoured from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Reroute details. On the Q13, northbound buses will be going on Northern Boulevard, then making a left on Corporal Kennedy Street, a right on 35th Avenue, then making its regular one to Fort Taunton on the regular route. Southbound service to Flushing Main Street via Bell Boulevard is going to be going opposite, right on 35th Avenue. Left on Corporal Kennedy Street, right on Northern Boulevard, then following its regular route to Flushing Main Street. Q31. Northbound buses via Bell Boulevard, left on Northern Boulevard, right on Corporal Kennedy Street, then going on its regular route. Southbound via Corporal Kennedy Street, left on Northern Boulevard, right on Bell Boulevard, then regular route. So pretty much northbound to Francis Lewis 27th will not really be impacted that much. It'll have to just go on Northern Boulevard and then cut back from Corporal Kennedy to get to 27th Avenue. No big deal there. Southbound, it won't be a big deal in a sense. It'll be able to get the Jamaica Long Island Railroad, but remember, weekend service is every 20 minutes on that route, so just plan extra travel time. That's all I'm going to say. Lastly, we have a big headache on the Long Island Railroad for customers at Kew Gardens in Forest Hills beginning this Saturday after 2 p.m. So pretty much, we have track work related to the East Side Access Project, also known as Harold Interlocking. Pretty much this work will take place again this Saturday, September 22nd, between 2:01 p.m. and midnight. This will affect westbound trains that normally stop at Kew Gardens and Forest Hills train station. Customers will be affected as follows. At Kew Gardens, westbound customers going to Kew Gardens can transfer to the E subway train at Jamaica Sutton Boulevard. You can take the E train to the Kew Gardens Union Turnpike stop. New York City Transit will cross-honor your Long Island Railroad tickets for entry to the subway at Jamaica. And I quickly want to apologize about that, everyone. I hate these annoying pop-ups with Windows 10, but it happens. Westbound customers departing from the Kew Gardens station will be accommodated at the Kew Gardens Union Turnpike subway station. New York City Transit will cross-honor pre-purchased Long Island Railroad tickets for entry to the subway at the Kew Gardens, Union Turnpike, E and F train subway stations. So the good news is you will be able to take the E or the F train at Kew Gardens, Union Turnpike if you are going to be departing from Kew Gardens. I want to quickly remind everybody, if possible, the Q10 and or the Q37 buses are available to take you from Kew Gardens, Long Island Railroad stop to the Union Turnpike subway station. If you want to walk it, it is a 15-minute walk. But again, if you just want to be able to have the luxury of, maybe there's some spare change you want to keep and you have $2.75, you can use that, take the bus, no big deal. But, it's a headache, and I really hate to see people deal with this. Lastly, at Forest Hills. Westbound customers going to Forest Hills must transfer to a special Long Island Railroad shuttle train at Jamaica Station. The shuttle train will depart at 6 minutes past the hour and at 30 minutes past the hour, with the first shuttle train departing Jamaica at 2:30 p.m. Customers must be in one of the first 6 cars to enter trains at Forest Hills Station. Please retain your Long Island Railroad ticket, as it will be collected at Forest Hills Station. Westbound customers departing from Forest Hills will be accommodated on the subway at the Forest Hills 71st Avenue stop for the E, F, and R trains. New York City will honor those tickets for entry to the subway station at the Forest Hills 71st Avenue entrance. So pretty much all entrances, you will be able to use your Forest Hills ticket, and you will be able to take the E, F, or R trains. So that's going to wrap up your service changes videos for this weekend. A little bit of chaos that took place during the presentation. It happens, but I'm trying to get better week by week, and I still want to know why that F train slide keeps acting up. Next week when I do this, I'm going to make sure that I play back the PowerPoint before I do it again. But yes, that concludes this week's video. Once again, please remember to plan extra travel time. And I'm going to remind everybody again with regard to the railroad, all of the branches in Nassau and Suffolk do not have any planned work. So that's very good news to hear, at least. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, take care.